Well, hello enemies and book lovers. My name is Ash and welcome back to my channel. I'm finally here for my April TBR. I was sick for 5 days, very sick. If you hear any sounds outside, it is storming right now. There's thunder and lightning and it's raining and it's very dark and dreary. I wasn't supposed to do my TBR game for the month of April, but I like doing it so much I decided to do a few rolls. I usually do 5 rolls, but for this one I did 3, so I do have a TBR game for this video. It'll only be 3 though, not 5 rolls, because I also have to do the Magical Readathon and Adventures in Eldia. So the Magical Readathon is done by G on Booker's channel. I always mention this readathon. It's actually what influenced me to do my readathon. I'm going to be taking part in this again, Beastmaster. I think this might be the second to last or the last time doing these classes this year. I think only one of these books is physical, so all the other books is going to be ebooks. So unfortunately I don't have a lot to hold up for you, but I will obviously put them here as I always do, and I'll talk about them as I can. So I'm not going to talk too much about them. I usually talk more about them in my wrap-up videos, so if you want to know more about the books, I'll talk about them there. But until then, let's get into my April TBR. So let's do this before there's a power outage or something. So let's get to the first roll for the video and see what I got for my first prompt. All right, this time I'm going to actually leave off where I left off for my last TBR game. So I'm going to be going from this spot. So it's turned upside down right now. But yeah, I'm going to do it from this spot because I feel like it'd be more fair for my rolls to be where they were last time. So let's do our first roll and see what we get. Let's see. Got a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Either a mood read or an illustrated book. Technically, both of these are amazing. Although for this one, I think I'm going to go with mood read because I'm going to have to do a few things for the readathon, so this is perfect for me. So technically, even though I did choose mood read, this does work for illustrated too, so I actually did both illustrated and mood read for this prompt. I needed to do a prompt for the Adventures in Eldia, which is like the annual thing for the Magical Readathon, where you have to go down a path. I'm going south toward Dark Meadow, and for this one I have to choose a book that has a author with a W in the name. And this was actually really hard for me. I could not find a book for the life of me. I had to really search. But I watched a booktuber video recently who did like a books written by Black authors, and I wanted to get to it at some point, so this is actually really perfect for me. This is the last session. As you can see, this is a Dungeons and Dragons kind of inspired graphic novel. Volume 1 for Roll for Initiative. This is done by Jasmine Walls, although we have the illustrator Dazzer Draws and Mika Myers for the letterer. All I really know about this book is that it's a bunch of friends, like I think college or high school friends, who kind of join together and run a Dungeons & Dragons session. They don't call it that, but that's pretty much what this is. And so if you like tabletop RPGs or you like D&D or whatever, I feel like this might be a little bit fun to read. This is on my Hoopla app, so I'll be reading this through my library, so it's a perfect reason for me to get to this book. So moving on to now my second roll for my TBR game. Now let's get into the second roll. A 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a series tile. I'm a little bit nervous because I'm going to randomize the series. Technically, if I was nice to myself, I wouldn't randomize it, but I'm going to randomize it because it's fun. So the bottom of the lottery tickets have different series, so I will shuffle and I will choose the one from the top. So the top one is no. No. For series, I was a little bit upset for a second that I got the Expanse series. But there is a consolation with this. I was a bit worried because I don't want to add another like 600-page book. But the thing is, the next book that I was supposed to read in the Expanse series is actually one of the novellas. So I am very relieved that I don't have to worry about reading a 500+ page book because I already have a few on this list. This is The Vital Abyss. It's only 75 pages, so it's very easy for me to get through. And as I mentioned, I'm already going through the series. I think I'm on book 6. I'm about to be on book 6. So I finished 5. Honestly, I'm actually kind of impressed that I'm already that far into the series. I usually don't read like series that well. I'm not very good at keeping up with my series, but I only started this series last year, I think in January, and I'm already on book 6, well, about to be on book 6. So I just finished 5 books, and I think I finished 3 or 4 novellas. So this is gonna be my next one. I don't know what this novella is about. It's probably spoilers anyway, but there are novellas sprinkled throughout the series that give you more in-depth backgrounds on characters or events that have happened in the series have been mentioned. So I'm looking forward to seeing if I actually know what this event is, or if it even is an event, or what it even is. I'm curious. I don't really go into these books knowing what's happening in them. I love the Expanse series. It's a great series by James S. A. Corey, and I'm very excited to continue the series. I really want to finish it probably within, if not this year, then next year for sure. So I need to make progress so I can do that. Okay, moving on to my third and final roll. I still have a bunch of books after this, but this is my last roll for my TBR game. So let's see what I end up getting. All right, moving on to the third and final roll. A 3. 1, 2, 3, a scratch off card. So this is actually kind of a good thing because I haven't done this in a long time, but I think blue is fantasy if I remember romance is pink, and this is like other. So I don't know what to choose for this right now. I think I'm going to go with romance because I need something simple and easy and hopefully not too long. So I'm gonna go with one of the pink ones. I believe that the light ones are the ones that are recommended to me. So I'm gonna go with a light one and see what it is. Oh, flat share. I haven't got scratch off in so long, so I'm so excited to have gotten the scratch off. And for this one, I got the flat share. This was because I think Sarah from Fairy Reads had this on like her. I don't know if she had this like in her favorites of last year or just favorites of all time or something like that, but I know that she really enjoyed the book. It made me want to read it, so hopefully I like it because I love Sarah's channel. I definitely recommend checking her out, especially if you like similar things to me but more fantasy rather than romance. But she does like a little bit of dabbling in romance, and I think I might like this one. The premise of it sounds like something I would really like, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed that I will. This book is written by Beth O'Leary. It's about two characters. We have one character who's working but needs a little bit of extra cash, and we have another character who needs a place to stay. And so because the male character works 9 to 5 and the female character is awake during that time and not working, they decide to kind of like live together in a flat. That's why it's called the flat share. And they spend this time together. It's forced proximity, which is one of my favorite tropes, although they do have opposite schedules, so they don't really see each other very often, but supposedly they like leave post-it notes to kind of communicate because they're gone when the other person's home. And obviously there's going to eventually be, you know, forced proximity, only one bed trope. I am so excited about this one. I might not like it, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed I will enjoy this book. In regards to my actual scratch off game though, I have this many. I have over probably 70 scratch off cards. So eventually when I get to all the ones that I have for my holds in my library, I will be going to these ones. So that's going to be fun to have a bunch of books to scratch off. So most of these are your recommendations. Some of these are booktubers' least favorite books, and then some of these are just books I want to get to. So that'll be fun to eventually get to these, but first I need to finish the ones for my TBR game because those are like highly prioritized because I really need to get my holds down on my Libby app because I'm tired of not being able to put holds anymore. It's very frustrating for me. With that aside, I still have a bunch of books to still read, so let's talk about the books I want to read for the Magical Readathon and just ones I want to get to myself. So let's get on to that, shall we? My fourth book on this list is one I never planned on reading anytime soon, but it was for the Magical Readathon prompt, and that is to read a book with fruit on the cover. I spent a long time, the next two prompts, I spent such a long time having to look for this, and it took me forever. I don't know why. This seemed a lot easier in my mind, but in retrospect, it wasn't that easy, surprisingly. The book I chose for this is actually one of my free books I got for an ebook, so this is a free ebook. I really need to get to these anyway, so maybe it's not a bad thing I got this. I'm always unsure about my indie self-published free books because sometimes I don't love them, so I'm really hoping I will like this book, and this is Soul Taker by Lainey Clover. This, of course, has an apple on the cover, as you can see. As you could probably imagine, this is a romance. This is a why choose romance. I mean, there's a few on this list, which is surprising considering I don't really read these very often, but I love them, so I'm not complaining about it. I don't know the details about the book. I read it like an hour ago. Don't ask me what I read because my brain is still not working very well after my sickness. I swear, I cannot remember a single thing in my life. Even if my life depended on it, I would not remember anything. But it's actually me all the time. I'm blaming my sickness. That's literally me all the time. Oh my gosh. This is following the female protagonist. She has to go through trials, and I think alongside her are 4 other men. There is a fire fae, which is like a fae, but elemental fire, I guess. We have a merman, an orc, and a demon. What in the world? I'm not mad about that. It's such a weird assortment. A merman, a fae, an orc, and a demon. It's a very interesting assortment. Anyway, they go through trials together, and I guess be there for one another and keep each other alive, maybe? I don't know. But it sounds interesting enough. I'm gonna give it a shot. Like I said, it's very vague synopsis, but I like going into my books like that, so I'll talk more about it in my wrap-up if I actually end up reading it and finishing it. I've been having a little bit of a hard time with self-published indie books lately, and I've been DNFing a few books. I DNF'd 3 books in March so far, so I'm just a little bit scared to continue more self-published indie authors, but we're gonna give it a shot. Hope for the best. And I think I might enjoy it. It has potential, so we'll see what happens. For my 5th book, we're going to be moving on to the next prompt for the Magical Readathon, and that is an instrument or a musical kind of thing in the title. So it's like something to do with music and singing and song and whatever, you know, how that works. This is another prompt I had such a difficult time with. I don't know why. It was so hard for me to do, but I eventually found something that kind of does work. And there is an instrument on the cover. That doesn't count. It has to be in the title. and I decided to just use a word that kind of technically makes sense for it, so I'm going to count it. Okay, it counts to me. This book is going to be Muse of Ruin by Stephanie Hurst. This is, again, another free ebook that I received, another romance, of course. This one has muse in the title. It does work. Like, muse is like a creativity, someone that inspires someone for art or like music, and so I'm going to count it, okay? And it does work. I think it does work. I think it does work. Princess from Princess does also use the word muse, which I found to be amazingly ironic because that's like a really niche word to be using for this prompt, and I'm really happy that someone else used the exact same word as me. Different books, but same word. Again, a very simple synopsis of this book. We have the female protagonist. She is trying to hunt down titans. Oh yeah, this is like a Greek mythology kind of inspired book. So there are Greek mythos within this world. There's like Zeus and Titans. So there is some Greek mythology influence in this book. We find the main character who is trying to hunt down the Titans, and we are following 3 Titans who end up with her, so another wide shoes. Again, this was a purely coincidental. I didn't actually decide to choose this book because of that. It was just a happy surprise to find out this is actually a wide shoes as well. We have the main protagonist who's hunting down a bunch of Titans, and the 3 Titans, and then they eventually start to protect her because their side of the people want to hunt her down because she's hunting down their kind. It's just a bunch of stuff happening. But it sounds intriguing. I love Greek, or not even Greek mythology. I just love mythos in general of all different kinds of cultures. So I'm excited to try this and see if I enjoy it. I'm gonna give it a fair shot like I always do with my books. I never try to judge the books before I go into them. I'm gonna be a little bit like trepidatious and make sure I'm not going into it with high hopes, but I still have some hope. The next book, the only physical book I have on this entire TBR is the next book, and that is my 6th book of this TBR. I am excited to get to this one, as you can probably imagine, because I am getting through the series, and I don't know if I'm going to finish it this year, but at this point, at this rate, it's possible. If not this year, then early next year, I'll be finishing this series. I'll see. I might need to take a break from it. I'll find out soon. But regardless, is Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson. This is book 2 in the Stormlight Archive. I'm having a great time. Well, it's only book 2, but I loved the first book. I did a reading vlog on it. I'm doing a reading vlog on this as well, and I'm going to try to make it a little bit better, more interesting, and not just have me reading and rambling about this book. But still, I am really, really anticipating this book and really hoping I will enjoy it. Obviously, you know what? I'm going to enjoy it. I know I'll enjoy this book. I had stuck a time with book 1, and I heard that book is like the startup for this book, or like the rest of the series. And so I just know it's going to be good, especially because like the way it ended really kind of like sets things off for this book, and I am just highly anticipating this book. And I also have to steal this off of someone's TBR. So to steal off someone's TBR, I am also reading this kind of like a loose buddy read on my Discord, and Celeste is also reading this. So I'm going to be taking it from Celeste, and I'm going to be adding, I mean, I was already going to read this book anyway, but because we're both buddy reading it, this worked out perfectly. I am really excited to be getting to this, reading the series, getting to it first time. I am reading this kind of loosely as well, buddy reading it with my boyfriend and my D&D friend. So we are also having a great time talking about it and rambling about it alongside my Discord for the people that are reading it alongside me. So I'm having a great time. I'm loving it. I haven't started this yet, but I know I'm gonna love it. So I can't wait. I cannot wait to start this book. Because I want to make things harder for myself, I still have 3 more books on this list, because why wouldn't I? But the last Magical Readathon prompt was to have a book with all caps in the title, and this was actually pretty easy for me. A lot of the books in this list have all capitals in the title of the book, so this wasn't too difficult. I decided to add a different book because I really want to get to the series. I've had this on my TBR for like 2 different months in the past like a year, so yikes. But this is Pucking Ever After, volume 1. This is by Emily Rath, and the next book I think is coming out in August, so like the next actual official book is in August. I still have to read the 2 novellas, and I haven't done it yet, and I keep wanting to. It follows the throuple, whatever, the 3-person polyamorous group from the first book, Pucking Around, and it follows them and really sweet and cute moments, and I just want to read it because it sounds like really wholesome and sweet and cute. I love those 3 so wait, there's 4 of them. There's 4 of them. And they are so sweet and so wholesome, and I tear up whenever I see like them together. It's so cute. So I really need to get to this because I really want to. It's adorable, and I really need to get to this. The storm. There's a storm outside, thunder and lightning. Sorry, it's like the vibe. It's the aesthetic and the vibe. I'm sorry. I'm just so excited. I'm actually starting this book today, and there's a thunderstorm. Isn't that so cool? So let's talk about the 2 I have left on my list. One of them is Painted Red. This is from the Mine F series. This is by St. Abbey, and this is the last and final book for the Mine F series. I read the second last book last month in March, and I'm going to be finishing hopefully the series in April. I want to finish this in April because I only have 1 book left, like I mentioned, and the last book ended on a huge cliffhanger. Things are happening. Everything that we kind of were waiting up until this point has happened now, and so I really need to see what happens next because we're at the like climactic part of the series, and I really need to read this book and finish it and see what happens because I need to know what happens. We're following the protagonist, who was very horribly something bad, something really, really bad happened to her when she was younger, like very, very bad happened to her when she was younger, and she's grown up as an adult, and now she is offing every single person who has done wrongs to her when she was younger, and it's very messed up. There's detail about what's happened to her and what happened when she, you know, gets rid of these men, and it's very, very messed up and dark, but it's also cathartic in a way because we are seeing her kind of remove these demons from her life that have been haunting her for so long. And they also have someone that works within the FBI who is on the case of the main character, and he has no idea, and they become a couple, and it's like this cat and mouse, him not knowing and her knowing, and it's just very anxiety inducing. And I'm finally at the end of the series and everything's coming to a head, and I'm so excited but so nervous at the same time, so I will need to finish this soon. I don't know if I'll be finishing in April because I have so many other books on this list, but if I can get to it, I would really like to get to it. And the last book on the list, I only have it on this list because I started reading it like 2 days ago, and I started it at the very, very end of March, and I had no intention of reading it, but I randomly just started picking it up, and I read it in 2 days. I read over half of the book, so I was really enjoying it when I picked it up, okay? And this is a dark romance. This is very popular dark romance, and that is Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman. If you don't know this book, it's probably for the best because this is a dark romance. And if you don't know dark romance, which I feel like most people on my channel do not watch or read that kind of content, this book has, again, a lot of heavy, dark topics, and it's actually very difficult to read at times, especially because we are following two characters who are very highly traumatized, and we are in the experience of why they are in the beginning of the book. So we have part one, which is literally following them. They get kidnapped by a man who does horrible things to both of them, although mostly the female protagonist, as you can imagine what he does to her. It's very, very messed up. He does it in front of the male character. This is her sister's fiance. They've been together for like 15 years, but he has also known her for 15 years. Like, they've grown up together as well. And it's like this friend, it's like childhood rivals to lovers kind of thing, but this trauma kind of brings them together. And like I said, it's very messed up, but it's also very, I don't know how to explain it, not beautiful, but how these two characters deal with trauma together and how they fall in love and how all this stuff happens. It's very messed up, but it's also very sadly beautiful at the same time. I read all of part one in one night, and then I've read almost all of part two in one day. So I really did enjoy my time reading it. Maybe not the entire process of it. I had to stop reading it a lot and just like stop for a minute because it was a lot for me. But I've been really enjoying like the relationship and these two characters kind of learning how to heal each other because no one else really understands them, because no one else experienced what they experienced, and it's been very interesting to read. So I'll be continuing this and finishing it probably very shortly, and so I'm looking forward to that. Again, I don't really know why I was in a dark romance mood. I've been watching a lot of Larry's content on BookTube, and so I just really wanted to read dark romance. But yes, that is it. Those are the 9 books I would like to get to. I probably won't be able to get to all these books because I still have a few books adding to this list, like kind of like my secret projects or just random things like that. So I might not be able to get to all these books, but this will be all of the books I might be getting to in April. Here's my TBR because I don't have them physically. I'll put them a little picture on the screen. Altogether, this is going to be 3,048 pages, so not horrible. If I could read 100 pages a day, it is possible, but I like to sometimes take like a day or two off to read because I need to like do something, you know, in my life that isn't reading. So with that being said, I'm going to finish the video off here. Thank you so much for waiting for my video to go up. I really appreciate it. I was sick, but everyone was so kind. So thank you so much for checking up on me and making sure I'm okay. I am fine now. Thankfully, I am okay. I am almost 100%. I'm still like low stamina and out of breath very easily, but for the most part, I am better, and that is great. I'm very happy to see that because I was tired of being sick. It is annoying. Stay hydrated. Take care of yourselves if you can, if you are sick. If you have children and they are sick, bless you, because I cannot imagine, especially if you're a mother or a father or a parent who has a kid that's sick and you are sick yourself. Oh my goodness gracious, I have no idea how you do it, but I have huge kudos to you. You are amazing for doing that. I keep rambling, I'm sorry. I'm gonna end the video off here. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. I hope you had some amazing reads in March, hopefully, and if you didn't, or if you did, hopefully you have some really good reads in April as well. Hope you have a great day, and I hope to see you all soon. Goodbye, everyone.